This is an activation for the Gen Z generation. Many things are collapsing. Our healthcare, education, economic models are being reshaped. This crisis is going to bring about major reform in the years to come. And Gen Zs are going to be the generation that's going to be pioneering this new educational, healthcare, and economic reform. Areas among many areas that are going to be reshaped by the minds of the Gen Z generation with the support of individuals who have already taken a stand by creating small businesses regarding health and wellness that brings reform to our pharmaceutical perspective. Individuals that are taking different approaches when it comes to psychology regarding pharmaceutical perspective, therapy in the pharmaceutical perspective, when it comes to economic ideals, and overall culture is being transformed by the individuals who have taken a stand, who have established themselves, who have refined their craftsmanship and are striving forward. The Gen Z generation will follow in the footsteps of these earlier pioneers, those who have planted seeds and have grown crops. And though some seasons the harvest is poor, and other seasons maybe the crops are burned by violators, those who do not want to see individuals bringing reformation to an old paradigm. We are entering into an age of light, and we're leaving behind the dark age. The dark age has created widespread separation, widespread discrimination, segregation. And in that widespread separation, we have aggressively competed, violated each other with shame, blame, harsh judgment that has left many people feeling isolated, feeling oppressed, and widespread injustice has led to people feeling powerless in victim mentality. But that is changing. The Gen Z generation is going to birth a new culture, following in the rebellious footsteps of the millennials, the rebellious footsteps of the MTV generation, and going all the way to the generation, the burning of the bras in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. Many generations have led to this moment right now where the Gen Z generation has their turn. The Gen Zs right now are young. They're in high school, college, middle school, elementary school. But they are vigilant, observant, and very sensitive and intuitive. We can sense reformation. We can sense that there needs to be changes in order for the human species to survive in the coming of centuries. in the coming of decades. And Gen Z generation, due to the efforts of the older generations, those, again, who were very rebellious and are very rebellious and take a stand, who have established their integrity and who have manifested for themselves as an evolutionary and revolutionary act of spreading new culture that will help us to heal from the very aggressive, discriminating, and quite belittling patriarchal paradigm, the dark age that we're now exiting out of. So this message for the Gen Z is about continue to be in your creativity. Think differently. Embrace that. Be independent. Independent-minded. That is what's going to bring you into the position all Gen Zs are going to be called into. And this position is a culture that is humanitarian, environmentalist, and the Gen Z is going to be opening up that door, opening up that energy, and bringing forth ideas, visions, inventions, businesses, innovation. It's going to bring back human dignity, something that was lost in the dark age, something that has caused suffering among men and women and children. We have a chance to build our character. We have a chance to get stronger. We have a chance to believe in miracles and redefine what it means to be human, redefine what it means to be in a relationship with the earth, with each other. Redefine, reinvent, reestablish ourselves. And the dignity that we reclaim now. We reclaim this dignity, this character, this craftsmanship, because that is what's going to resurrect prosperity on this planet. We think prosperity is widespread. Prosperity has been deconstructed. Prosperity has been withheld, discriminated. Prosperity has been non-existent in many ways in this patriarchal paradigm. But through our resurrection, as we resurrect from the dark age and begin to reclaim our dignity, we're going to see prosperity. We're going to see liberation. We're going to see a new culture. These older generations, these global leaders, they will not live forever. They're not eternal. And when we recognize that, we turn to ourselves as a young generation and to the younger generation, understanding that we are reshaping the future as the young people just by thinking independently, just by embracing our desire, our passion for a new earth, one that has less plastic, trash rivers, mountain of trash building up, that has less children in foster system due to parents who were not ready for kids. think of less injustice among minority groups due to attack, due to aggression towards minorities that are finally empowering themselves after many centuries of being disempowered and belittled. The more that we connect with a great vision of the future, one that we're not going to see in the Hollywood movies right now, because the Hollywood movies, most of them are created by older generations, preferably white men, belonging to the patriarchal paradigm, the Dark Age perspective. But our time will come, and our time is nearly approaching, as these Gen Zs are going to be redefining history, rewriting history through our fearlessness and through our culture. Because the culture, in many ways, this global culture that we participate in, that has been manipulated by these older generations, who we call the elite, the individuals at the top of the pyramid, that are mostly white men. They're not eternal. Their culture is not eternal. Their way that they have divided us is not eternal. They will die as we rise. It's a part of natural law. They will not live for hundreds of years. Their time is nearly coming to a closure. And with that, we will have an opportunity to look at the way we relate to each other, ourselves, this planet, the animals, and we will create a lineage. We will focus on lineage. And in that focus on lineage, we will give awareness to virtues that in the Dark Age have been atrophied, haven't been worked or used for centuries. These tribal virtues that have been aggressively removed. These virtues of femininity, creativity, prosperity, these virtues of higher education, these virtues of economic equality, and overall economic fairness is going to create a new human species. Our desire to go to the stars, deep space, is really a desire for us to find ourselves, because we come from the stars and we know that. We're all very much powerful like a star. We just need to reclaim that here on Earth. We've seen destruction, we've seen corruption, we've seen it everywhere in Hollywood shows. We hear it in rap songs. But we are wise in our virtuous living, in our noble living, as we no longer believe in what is told to us. We're no longer just giving into programs, propaganda, whatever you want to call it. We're no longer feeding ourselves what is out there. We're going within ourselves. We're looking to the stars at night. We're looking to the trees. We're looking to the animals for inspiration. We're learning what it is to feed ourselves with our own inspiration, our own sovereignty and dignity. We're learning what it is to be nourished. We're learning what it is to be fair. We're learning what it is to experience harmony. And overall, we're raising our worth. No longer are we going to participate in all the beliefs, the BS, the belief systems that have left us feeling weak, malnourished, stupid, distracted, and have left us feeling aggressive towards ourselves and other people that overall leads to our destruction, our demise, our chaos, ruckus that just leads us, again, without prosperity. We're no longer just giving into ruckus. We're no longer participating in ruckus. We're uplifting ourselves. And after a very long time of being discouraged, feeling weak, feeling poor, powerless, feeling in shame, and thinking of ourselves as worthless, we're reclaiming our worth. We're educating ourselves. And we are going to be educated, not in the way that is the old paradigm, the old university perspective. We're educating ourselves on what it means to be wise, what it means to be thoroughly educated, to be the scholar of culture, the scholar of philosophy, the scholar of virtues, the scholar of prosperity, and sharing that resiliently with the world. And anything that comes our way, which they will come our way, resistance, challenge, challengers, we understand that someone has to do it. Someone has to hold the torch. And the more people that are holding the torch, the bigger the fire, the bigger the purification, the transmutation of these old ancestral traumas and generational curses. Let them go into the fire. Light the torch. But do not hold the torch of rage, the torch of resentment, bitterness, victimization. Hold the torch, passion, resilience, determination. Hold the flame, the royal blue flame of our transformation as we turn to ash like fallen snakeskin. We turn to ash, these memories, these defeats, these violations, unfairness, injustice, whatever it is, has us raging inside, which we all know. We experience that emotional ache. That emotional ache. We're turning that into our fuel. Fuel for innovation. We are all on a vision quest. And this vision quest is not going to lead us to the news. It's going to lead us deeper than what is presented. We're not so easily seduced by deceit, deception, illusion, distraction, fake news, superficiality. We're going deeper because we are hungry. We are hungry for power that isn't the power of greed or selfishness or the power of theft or the power of injustice or the power of elite that's built on the shoulders of those who feel they're at the mercy, with no sense of self-government, with no sense of prosperity or drive, openness, receptivity, or even manifestation. We are learning what it means to manifest. And this is a challenge, this is a crisis that is testing us, because this will pass. The things we've seen and the things we've heard and the things we've felt, and the great pain of it, the great confusion of it, and frankly the great dissatisfaction as we go deeper and unravel distortions, incredible dysfunctions within our system, multiple systems. We will find it within ourselves, a will to be inspired, a will to transmute this anger, this rage, raging at the dying of the light. We do. Raging at the dying of the light. We do not understand the death of many is asking us to be deathless. Those who are alive, those who still have it within them, the breath of life. Those who are dying are paving way for those who hear of death, who see of death, to be deathless, to wake up from the slumber that the dark age has cast upon us, to wake up from feeling unworthy, worthless, feeling disconnected from your own energy, your own manifestation, and begin to energize our intentions, our prayers, our manifestation, our creativity, and become builders of the future. Because one day we will be the elite. We will be the leaders, the global leaders. Us. One day we will be the ones who make big time decisions. And having gone through what we are going through now and facing death, we are all facing death in some way or some form. Either the death of a loved one, feeling of death around us, the death of our economic comfort, the death of our healthcare assurance, the death of our education and the structure, the status of it. We are not going back to what it was. After this, things are not going to just be what it was. We are going to be deathless. We are going to feel more alive because of this death. And in this deathless courage, resilience, we're going to be more creative. We're going to be more heartfelt. And we're going to be more passionately driven for a future that brings dignity to economy, education, healthcare, and overall, what it means to be a human being. We're resurrecting the virtues of the stars. We can call them star beings, but we are resurrecting virtues of these star beings that are us. We can call them future versions of ourselves. We can call them ancient versions of ourselves. We could call them ancient astronauts. We can call them futuristic guides belonging to a remote future where we're traveling through galaxies, interacting with intelligent life on other planets. There is virtues of the star seed. And a star seed is within us. The seed of consciousness goes far beyond this earth. Even our DNA, as research has shown, is much older than the planet itself. This star seed, the seed of consciousness, is vibrating the cosmos. And in that vibration of the cosmos, we learn creation. We learn how to manifest dimensions, how worlds come into existence, how this planet, this sun, this solar system, this galaxy came into existence, how multidimensional this multiverse is. The black hole, a time-space machine. We're going to learn how to travel through space one day. Not us. Not our children. The future. And we will marvel at our ability to manifest. Not manifest spaceships to go to Mars. Our ability to manifest higher intelligence on this planet, not artificial intelligence, while people remain mundane and feeling stupid and feeling in a lack vibration. But our ability to actually manifest a golden age, we think is out of our reach. We think that human beings are way too wanky. But you watch as the older generations fade, which is nature. It's nothing to be disheartened about. And as you watch the younger generations rise with the star seed quality of life, our desire for creation, to learn creation, to be in the creativity of our dharma, our higher incarnation, not our karmic ties to this world that keep us poor, in lack, separation, low worth. As we rise in our dharma, as we cut the karmic ties to people, places, and things that leave us in fear, anxiety, frustration, trauma, and these old curses, we're going to see ourselves like Krishna, like Shiva, star beings belonging to an ancient astronaut society. We're going to see ourselves too with a blue energy. This blue energy, Krishna, Shiva, belonging to an ancient past of ancient astronauts, represents a human species that has evolved beyond the 3 dimensions we know. A human species that is able to cultivate knowledge of starlight, like the blue energy of a flame represents a being, a light being that we all have. It's called the radiant body, the subtle body, pranic body, the neutral mind, that's able to access a deeper life, a purer life. And when we do, we're going to see renewable energy, clean electric energy, electromagnetic energy, We're going to see air quality improve. We're going to see people educated. Not an education that is separation. Only the prestigious get the prestigious, and the poor get the poor education. We're going to see teachers. Gen Z generation becoming teachers. And though we may not know what we are going to teach, we sure do have a sense of our craftsmanship, our creativity. And though it may be beginner level, it may seem simple, subtle, basic, give it time. Give it energy, passion, resilience, determination. We will become teachers one day, professors, leaders. And we will have that glow, that blue glow, the glow of Krishna and Shiva. Because in the crises and the death, we become deathless. Like a near-death experience, it awakens you to the ingredients of life, the manifestation of creation, how this star came to be, how this planet came to be, the esoterics of this quite phenomenal experiment. And we will rise to the occasion, and we will not fear the night. We will not fear what we discover within ourselves. We allow what we discover within ourselves to potentiate us into the most profound transmutation of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is passed down, it is transferred. But it can also be transmuted. People transfer energy, ancestral trauma, generational curses. It's all transferred from generation to generation to generation. But with the blue flame of God and the blue flame of prayer and intention, manifestation, alchemy, resilience, creativity, craftsmanship, prosperity, all that connects to the planet of Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, all of the planets in the solar system, with that kind of magnetic pull on this planet and our own sort of influence, ripples, or resonance. We're not going to transfer what was transferred to us. These beliefs, these older generations have transferred to us from their older generations. We're going to transmute. And how I know we're going to transmute, because in the near-death experience, in the death, the crises, that demands us to change, that places us outside our comforts, where there's no turning back. There is no going back to the old. There's no playing it safe. There's no mediocrity. There's no mundane. All there is the unknown. That's when we experience the deathlessness. That's when we experience the whole heart. We're asked to give it our all, our whole heart. We're not asked to half-ass it and pretend to be something we're not, to fake it till you think you can be what they want you to be or the older generations are doing. We're not doing what the older generations are doing. We're transmuting. We're not transferring what was taught to us to other people. We're transmuting. We're expanding beyond the limitations belonging to a dark age, a patriarchal paradigm. We're expanding our idea of color, nationality, race, sex, education, economy, healthcare, relationships to children, relationships in marriage. And our philosophy will be soulful and true. Our philosophy will bring transmutation to the ancient philosophies, but also bring great resurrection to philosophies that have become too quiet. And in the future to come, you will see us as royal blue. And that royal blue will give us protection, give us prayer. The royal blue will give us protection, will give us prayer, will give us alchemy, give us manifestation, and it'll give us the solar system and all of its wonder, all of its esoterics, all of its artistry, its self-expression, its freedom. And we will bring prosperity on this planet. We're not meant to live without prosperity. We're not meant to live without manifestation and knowing how to manifest. It is unnatural to not know how to manifest, or for manifestation to be discouraged among people because of race, sex, nationality, age. We are becoming the star beings, the star seeds. We're seeding other worlds in our future. I'm sure there's already secret society within NASA that's already planned that, or the ancient astronauts were already aware of their sort of star seed presence on this planet. We're going to be seeding our consciousness with the royal blue flame of transmutation. And our culture is not going to be a continuation of what we see in a movie, what we heard from our parents, the childhood, the trauma, the curses, the limitations. We are throwing all of that away. We're not looking to that for inspiration, going deeper. We understand the kids at school, the parents, the teachers, the ways that they live, their relationships, their economic status, whatever it is. We understand and we compassionately, resiliently uplift the dysfunction, the discord, the dissonance, the death, as we go deeper within ourselves to discover a philosophy that is our own. And when we find that as the Gen Z, each Gen Z finds that inner philosophy, then we will start to come into the prosperity that is truly the future outcome of this planet.